and welcome to Dissgruntled. I'm your host, Joplin Jayne, and this is the podcast that turns personal grievances into a competition. This episode, we have three very funny comedians. Please welcome Dean Berg from Wisconsin.
Hello.
Dante Barnett from Seattle.
Yo.
And Ilongo Gopalan from Chicago.
¿Qué pasó?
Great. These comedians are going to be competing in 2 rounds, and I will award points after each round. And by the end, whoever has the most points is valid in their grievances, and everyone else is just disgruntled. Makes sense all around? Are we good, guys? Ready to start?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
Yes, ma'am.
So round 1 is called Petty Rapid Fire. And this is where we start this round with Dean. In this round, comedians are going to have 2 minutes to rant about as many petty personal grievances as they have. The person to list the most gets 2 points, and the person with the funniest grievances also gets 2 points. And I have a little timer here. Dean, whenever you are ready to go.
Okay. First, I absolutely hate joint Facebook accounts. You know, when a couple, whether they're married or dating or whatever, has joint Facebook account. Because you know they're not in love. One of them just has Stockholm Syndrome. That's really all that is. I also don't like people who park in the lines in a parking spot, but too far one way or the other. Because they're really the wolf in sheep's clothing of the entire parking lot. They look like they're doing good, but they're really setting everybody up later for failure. So that annoys me. It annoys me that since COVID, most of the women that I deal with or come in contact with all seem to have really manly hands. And the only thing I can think of is it's from so much hand washing and everything. They're getting a lot of exercise and their hands are drying out. Because I've noticed that whenever I shake hands, nobody's hands are soft anymore. The unfairness of Christianity, I don't like that. I mean, I was raised Christian and everything, but all I have to do is believe in Jesus and I'm good to go. But according to my 3rd grade teacher, I got a black mark or a mark on my permanent record for throwing a grape. And so it's kind of unfair in my eye. You just have to believe in somebody and you're clear no matter what you did. I don't like it whenever you tell somebody somebody's name, like they'll say, "Who's that?" And you say, "Oh, that's Derek." "Yeah, who is that?" "That's Derek." "Derek who?" "I don't know who's Derek. It's just Derek." You know, and that gets kind of annoying. The phrase "you got this" makes me nuts when people say "you got this," because like, what exactly do I got? What is this? And you know, it's like the slacktivist level of support that someone can give. I don't know if it's a lot of other comedians have to deal with it, but here we kind of have a lot of comedians that they're mid at best, but they like to talk a lot of trash and like punch down and try to make everybody else think they're greater than they are. There we go. That shots fired. They seem to kind of punch down at people. Let's see what else. When we were talking about how people say things in Wisconsin, I'm from a town called 2 Rivers. Drives me nuts when people say Trivers. This one's a little personal, a little weird, but it drives me nuts whenever my fiance and I are being intimate, and she says, how does she always put it? It's very, she doesn't say sloppy. Shoot, it's very slippery down there, or something like that. Or she always has these terms that are different than just saying like, I'm wet. She always says, it's sloppy down there, it's slippery down there. And then the other one is like when you try to not spread COVID to old people on holidays, so you don't go, and then they die 2 days later anyways. That was a real life example that happened.
Wait.
Okay.
What do you mean by that? Did that actually?
That did a couple of weeks ago. We actually had 2 deaths in the family recently, and I'm probably oversharing a little bit, but it's okay. I'll do it for the sake of the podcast. But one of them, an elderly person in the family, and just out of respect, I won't draw too many details, but basically we skipped going to Thanksgiving so that they wouldn't, because we had COVID, and we were kind of better, but still were worried. So we didn't want to make the elderly person sick. So we skipped it. And then they had a surgery a couple days later, and they ended up passing away from complications from their surgery anyway. So it was kind of like we tried to do the good thing, but it didn't matter. I guess it was time.
I'm really sorry for your loss, first of all.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
secondly, at least you know you had nothing to do with it. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
live your life knowing, not my fault.
Oh, right. Yeah. A comment was made, like, well, what if we would have gone? Maybe they would have got COVID and they just would have got sick and wouldn't have had the surgery and wouldn't have died. But I'm like, don't think like that. Don't
I
think
think
like that.
though, like depending on like what kind of guilt someone has, you can always find a way to blame something on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You always can.
Yes.
Some people find ways to never take responsibility. Like it depends on who you are and like what your outlook on life is and how you see other people. Like, I mean, because we all know people that will never say sorry, that will never take responsibility for anything, and that, like their maneuverings and how they get out of ever being the problem. It's kind of impressive sometimes. But I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
No, I'm kind of one of those people too, like, because even after we had tested positive and stuff, we were supposed to go to the children's hospital for an appointment for my little guy. And I was like, no, we're not going. There's kids with cancer there. And even if I don't know that I made any of them sick, it's going to be on my mind that I probably made one of them sick. So we rescheduled it for like 3 weeks later. So I'm kind of the opposite of that.
I think that you err on the side of being a good person. I like you, Dean.
I try. Oh, thank you.
The manly hands thing. Can we talk about that? So wait, do you mean they're muscular or they're dry?
They're bigger and they're stronger. Like there'll be these petite little women and they have like giant foam finger sized hands that are just ripped. They're absolutely ripped. And they have, maybe I'm jealous. It might be that I'm just a little bit jealous because I still feel like I've got these dainty hands, but and maybe it's all the soap drying them out and all the washing. I don't know. It's just a thing I noticed that when I was kind of writing down some things that are petty that bother me, that was one of them.
I feel like you live in Wisconsin though. Aren't people like hardier up there? You got to weather life up there. Is that true?
That's true. That's true.
I feel like there's also like German stock up there, and the German people are just generally known as a sort of hardy people, eat sausage every day type individual.
Yeah, there's a lot of German, quite a few Italian. Pretty much, if they were part of the Axis powers, they live here. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
I myself am Nordic. My family's from Norway. We're all Viking heritage, so maybe that's where the axe throwing comes in and whatever and whatnot. But
you know what I love? Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard, but Dean and I were talking beforehand, and he's actually a professional axe thrower. Dean, you want to tell us like how you, first of all, what is a professional axe thrower and how you even become that?
Yeah, there's a number of different leagues. The one that I'm in is World Axe Throwing League, and then they're also kind of melded together right now with the World Knife Throwing League. And I got started in it about 2 years ago when my kids bought me. They just said, "Hey, Dad, what do you want to do for Father's Day?" And I was like, "I don't know what do you want to do." They said, "Let's go axe throwing." So we went axe throwing. They kind of got it for me as my Father's Day present or activity, and it was fun. Kind of got addicted to it. I started a league. And it just kind of became a passion, and I practiced, and I throw in tournaments and things like that. I was just in a Pro-Am tournament last month, and that's where I was supposed to be on ESPN, but the broadcast got cut short, so I'm hoping they have a second broadcast. I was on ESPN one time prior, but I was just in the audience just being a doofus.
No, baby. Sorry. She wants to be a part of the podcast. Dean, you're like so quirky. I like it. You're so like, yeah, this is how I am. Whatever.
Yeah. My fiance's pet name for me is Weirdo, and I fully accept it. I was like, weirdo this, weirdo that.
Dante, are you doing a little house cleaning over there?
Ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille?
Do
I
you?
know their screens were all cloudy. And mine's nice and crisp. I'm just gonna make sure it stays that way. You know what I mean? Now I got them all. What's the word? Self-conscious. No, I'm fucking with you. Dude, look, he wiped it.
You're
I know. I've had tape on my screen for 3 months, and I only removed it now to be on this. So
Your lighting looks great, Longo. I like it. Do you?
thank you. I'm
in
in
your
my brother-in-law's place, so I have 2 different lights going on right now.
Dante, is this a heart in your beard right here?
No, that's a bald spot. I'm tired of you millennial bitches asking me that. It's called alopecia. That was going to be one of my grievances. We're starting earlier. I'm tired of tired of these bitches asking me if that's a heart. First off, I'm not that creative. Second off, I don't have that good hand-eye coordination. No, I'm just bald. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think you should be happy that people go to something normal, like, is that a heart instead of like, a disease. But you are next. So whenever you are ready, go ahead.
Oh man. I already feel like I started already. My first grievance is I'm tired of people asking about the bald spot on my face. No, that's not 2 midgets' nuts outlined on my face and trimmed around. It's a heart. No, I'm just fucking with you. As a black guy, though, I am tired of celebrating Father's Day because I don't know who my father is, and I'm definitely not taking care of my kids. So can we just stop bringing this up every year? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm tired of you gotta laugh a little louder. I'm tired of everybody asking me about Christmas because, like, I'm a December baby. And everybody always tells me they're going to get me something nice for Christmas. But when I do it to them in June, I'm the asshole. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of these millennials with their social media and shit. Like when I was a kid, you just had to lie to everybody and tell them who you were. You didn't have a whole page where you lied to the whole world about it. You know what I mean? Like I have bad days too. Not every day champagne and orange juice. I'm telling you, motherfuckers. But it's funny, I hate people who compare being a pet parent to a real parent. It's not the same thing. I got 5 kids, and if my 3 or 4-year-old pisses or shits in your living room, I'm a bad parent, you know what I mean? Not only that, but I can't breed my kids the way you breed your pets. Because if I come to your little kid's birthday party talking about that's a sexy motherfucker, and you should bring them by later so our kids can do a little vertical or horizontal limbo. I'm the weirdo. You know what I mean? I'm the bad guy. Right? I'm also tired of people who ask me if I'm black or Samoan. Because I don't know. Told you I don't know my fucking dad. And then on top of it, I'm tired of people who come up to me speaking Spanish. Because I'm not Mexican. And I don't speak Spanish. Between the two, I don't know why you assume I speak Spanish. You should be assuming I speak Tagalog. I at least do look Samoan. You know what I mean? I'll leave it there.
Fine. Ilongo.
Yep.
You're up next. Whenever you're ready,
All right.
take it away.
Ready?
Ready.
Oh. Doesn't matter what the weather is. My itchy back and my shoulder blades piss me the hell off. I hate them. I actually have 2 wooden back scratchers, and I'm trying to find one of them right now. They will itch all the damn time. Speaking of, I hate my stupid Indian body. I have to be Indian. Call center, not rehab center, in case you're wondering. I have the legs that look like burnt French fries. I look like Chris Crackrock from the movie New Jack City. Because I'm Indian, I have to take a statin because I'm genetically predisposed to high cholesterol. It's one of the few prescription drugs I can share with my wife, because she's Indian too. I drive in Chicago. I don't mind when people make left turns. It's part of the city. It's part of transportation. But when someone makes a left turn on Western Avenue out of a McDonald's drive-thru, I judge them harder because they're holding up traffic and they're making poor choices. I don't like that. I hate when city workers do a lot of construction, but they don't remove the no parking signs. So after a while, I'm tearing them down myself, and I look like some guy who's trying to tear down, those posters of missing Israeli people. I'm going to get canceled right now. Hollywood reboots. I hate Hollywood reboots. My favorite movie was Something About Mary. I think today, if they rebooted it, she'd be asking for AirPods from Ben Stiller. I'm a family man. I have a kid. She's awesome. I hate when people ask me, are you going to have more kids? So I tell them, actually, we're thinking of having fewer kids. Is there a fire station nearby to drop them off? I'm not on a plane. I hate not being able to time when I can pee on the plane before they say, put your seatbelt back on. I go pee in first class. They kick me back to economy. I finish peeing, and now the beverage cart has blocked my goddamn seat. I hate when I'm around other Indians, and Indians love to stare at me. They stare and they glare like Richie Aprile from, The Sopranos with the Manson lamps. They just stare at you like this. I hate when my wife used to wear her Apple Watch on the highest, brightest setting possible. So I tried to take it off her wrist in bed and felt like I was an Avenger trying to rip off Thanos' glove. I hate when people describe themselves as unapologetically anything. Usually they are the ones who need to apologize the most. I hate when I sneeze and people keep saying, bless you. You're not the Pope. Now I have to say thank you. Just shut up and let me sneeze and choke on it. I hate when people guilt me into a favor and say, it's the least you can do. No, you don't understand numbers. The least you can do of anything is a 0. I train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not very good. I'm like the George Santos of Jiu-Jitsu, but a kid will say I have a black belt. Dude, you're in karate and you paid $50 for that black belt. I can throw you into the street right now. And I hate the share button on porn websites. If you click on the share button, why would you Facebook or tweet porn ever? Why is that button even on there? How much time do I have left?
Dude, that's over. I love your laugh.
Okay.
Dude, that was great. Why would you share porn though? My people need to know. They need to see the penetration. Has anyone ever done that in this room right here?
And if someone has shared porn, then you need them in the zombie apocalypse because nothing will scare them if they've actually done that. Because it's always a Twitter and an Instagram. No, it's always a Twitter logo and the Facebook logo. It's not Threads yet, I don't think. But on any website, hey, do you want to share this? It's like the appendix, the most dangerous button you have. And if you're not paying attention, boom, you've just exposed yourself.
You know what I love? I love when people go through politicians' Twitters and find the videos that they've liked. Do you guys remember when Ted Cruz liked that porn on Twitter?
Yeah.
That was delightful. It was so freakish. And then he's like, no, it was an intern. What?
You ever like something, like a public page with a woman on it, and you'll see someone's comment, oh, you look great. And you're like, wait, that's my friend. That's my friend who just said that on a public page. It's always going to show up.
Yeah. You ever see on Facebook when you get like a friend request from like a porn bot and you see you have a mutual friend, you're like, okay, you look who the mutual friend is, who's the horny bastard, who's the motherfucker who thinks this woman wants to fuck him and not steal from him and scam him.
And he's always got a goatee and glasses and he's got a seatbelt on. He's about to do a rant video.
Yeah.
It's all those people in a row.
Oh, it's so sad. It's just like, why? It really is true that like anything that is done well or that is good in this world, people will always find a way to make it awful, find a way to twist it. Like Facebook, like we were all on Facebook when it first started. It didn't start out with something like, where it became like a political weaponization. It didn't start out like that. It didn't start out with people being scammed out of money, being catfished. Like it was just like a nice thing for you to talk to your friends. Like, do you guys remember like early Facebook days?
No, I was in MySpace.
Yeah, I was in MySpace a lot too.
Yeah, that's where they taught you how to write an HTML code and you didn't know it.
On MySpace.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And a bitch would be like, oh my God, I'm not in your top 8. What's going on?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh.
That was.
I had people get into fights about not being in someone's top 8.
No. I expanded to the top 16. And then it got out of where, like, well, why do you need 16 people? Then why am I the 15th?
Yeah. How come I'm not closer to the top row?
Your hand.
But it was kind of nice. You could hijack people too. When they came to your page, they had to listen to whatever song you set as your profile.
Totally.
Yeah, they had to. Couldn't matter.
Yes.
That reminds me of a better time when we had ringtones for songs.
Oh yeah.
You could assign everybody a ringtone.
Like, remember we had to pay for each song?
That was a flex. You had like 700 ringtones. Everybody had their own ringtone. You were baller.
Like you had to pay for wallpapers if you wanted that. You had to pay for ringtones. Like, Ah,
Mhm.
man. I remember I really wanted a Razr phone and I never got one because it was like the coolest, flattest phone out
That
there.
was the best phone. I had a metal razor. That thing lasted
Hello, Motel.
forever. Yeah.
Best commercial ever.
My
I had a Virgin Mobile where you had to keep buying the cards and then you put money on it and you use the money towards drinking. That's what I had.
I love how you basically had a burner phone back then.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Like your
Totally.
day to
The only
day.
thing you could only play Snake on it. That was it. Snake and Tetris.
You're not
Oh,
creepy or anything. Your phone number changes every 3 days. Why does your phone number change? Don't worry about
Yeah, don't worry about that.
dude.
Just go check out my MySpace. Stop worrying about my phone.
Do you guys remember when you got your friend request from Tom? How it just like showed
Yeah,
up? Like who the fuck is Tom?
immediately. Yeah.
And this is before that you didn't know like he wasn't like a real person who would talk to you. I was like in high school. I was so young. I was messaging him and I was like, when does he get back to me? What
You
the
just
fuck is
changed
that
it.
for? What?
Yeah, like MySpace, I was in high school and I was like 25. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm old.
Are you Gen X? Who cares? I think age is such a construct. It's so silly. So wait, are you Gen X? Is that what you are?
Yep. I am.
Oh, she said age is a construct. No, it's not. It's a measurement of time. It's
Time is a construct.
Exactly. Time is a construct.
Time is a flat circle.
no,
I
it's
love how
not.
you define a construct with another construct. But no, we can talk about this though. So Dante, you are Gen X. Is that? I'm guessing that's what you are. You're not a boomer, so you must be, unless you're a Gen Z.
I'm considered a Zennial, right? We're in between that 78 to 81. I'm 81 and something like that, but it's 78 to 82. They call them Zennials because we're not quite either one. We're supposedly millennials, but we do not fit in with the rest of the millennials.
Yeah.
Right? I know what a fax machine is. I know what an 8-track is. Right? I used to get a whooping. Right? These are all things that were okay. Most millennials are like, you got whooped? Yeah, I got fucking whooped. That's why it matters. And I say man when I flinch when I fuck up. No. Never mind.
I had old parents. So I was not born, and I'm like a millennial, but like I had old parents. So all that old shit, like my dad is 84 right now. No, he's 85 and my mom is 75. And like, so like I was raised with old shit. Like we watched, I don't know if you guys know what Laurel and Hardy is. We watched that.
Yep.
Laurel and Hardy, we watched like, and this was before like,
Honeymooners?
what was it?
Honeymooners?
Oh
You
yeah,
watched that?
dude. That was great. Yes.
Hello,
Nick at Night. Nick. That was my shit. We watched
Leanne.
that a lot. We also like we grew up on like old Looney Tunes, like when they were all smoking and like
I just saw a thing about the difference between Wile E. Coyote and Harry Coyote. You know, they're two. What is it, Wile E? And there's two coyotes.
who's
in Looney.
Harry Coyote? I don't know who that is.
So the guy who goes against the sheepdog, that's not Wile E. Coyote. That's Ralph.
What?
That's Ralph Coyote.
Oh,
Was
Oh, yeah,
Ralph-
when they punch in at work, right? They
Yeah,
say good
yeah.
morning, and then they start their
Sheepdog
battle.
Because he says, "Hi, Ralph." That's Ralph Coyote. He's not Wile E. Coyote. And if you notice, Wile E. has a black nose and Ralph has a red nose.
Holy
Ralph's
shit.
actually a whole mind fucking blown, right?
Mandela effect.
There was one Looney Tune where they were both in the same fucking Looney Tune trying to go after the sheepdog and the roadrunner at the same time.
Interesting. I've never heard of any of this. I'm suspicious about any sort of revisionism though about my childhood.
That's
We
not a
don't know-
revisionism.
I'm
You
not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I could totally just, when you're a kid, you don't see everything. But I don't know though. Like there's some bullshit going on with like the Mandela effect. We all know what that is, right?
oh,
The Fruit of the Loom shit. Dude.
Bernstein Bears.
Berenstain Bears, yes, but specifically Fruit of the Loom. Like this is a bullshit thing. So for anybody who doesn't know, Fruit of the Loom, there are people like I remember Fruit of the Loom having a cornucopia holding all of the fruit. I remember that. A lot of people on the internet remember that, but Fruit of the Loom, it's like, oh no, we've never had a cornucopia. And then like you go to their website and they have like a timeline of what our logos looked like when back in the day. Here's like this, and none of them have a cornucopia. But somebody on TikTok, she found an old t-shirt from back in the day and the tag has a cornucopia on it. So I don't know who's lying here, but like I do remember a cornucopia. So I look at like shit like that and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't even know.
I saw a brief article that the Mandela effect is actually just a giant prank by some elite rich person that's just paying a lot of money to have a bunch of stuff changed just to mess with people. Be a dick. But it'd make more sense, I think.
I mean, yeah, I've seen theories.
But how much money do you have to do that?
I mean, there's a lot of rich people out there. What I can't imagine is having access to all of the materials in the world, like all of these assets, and then using them not to end suffering. Like, how do you do that?
Right.
Like, how are you a billionaire and you're just sitting on your money when this world is full of suffering, this country is full of suffering? Like how do you, like, what would you do?
Scrooge McDuck, you know? Everyone wants to dive into a big vat of gold once in their life.
Let's talk about that. I mean, that always annoyed me watching that because I'm like, that would hurt, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
DuckTales.
Yes.
I love that. That was my favorite part, to see this fucker swimming in money and spitting it out. Like, there's no truth to that. There's
none. It was enjoyable.
Like the Beagle Boys.
Life is full of, what is there?
Life is like a hurricane. It's in
Berg.
Everything had a duck in it. Same thing with duck, you know?
It's a duck splurge.
Might solve a mystery.
Rewrite
history. Mandela effect.
DuckTales.
Woo! Yeah.
Tales of daring, people that caring DuckTales. Woo!
That's it. We're starting a band.
Between the four of us, we pieced that together badly.
Oh, that was like a cappella or something.
We are the perfect age group for this episode.
Yep, we are.
Like when I couldn't remember a lyric, Dean picked it up. When he stopped, Lingo picked it up. Dante picked it up. That was a little perfect.
Yep, till we got to the chorus, and then we just all let her fly.
Woohoo! All right, so if you haven't realized, I love tangents. I just like conversations in general. This is obviously a podcast with a purpose. It's a contest, a competition of grievances. But I love talking to other comedians. So tangents are welcome. So in terms of, all right, so round one, in terms of the most, that's Alongo. Way to go. You had 14. You just like rattled them off. You were very prepared, professional. Way to go. Dante had 7 and Dean had 9. So way to go, everybody. Winner is on Longo for that one. Funniest, I'm going to give to Dean because that manly hand shit, It's so funny to me. Like I haven't heard a conspiracy theory about that. And it's just so delightful that like the COVID vaccine, like, you know, is changing mRNA, but also giving people manly hair.
Yep, everyone, even babies have these giant oversized hands.
And I also like the whole "you got this" thing. I have to. I mean, okay. So for me, "you got this." I feel like, just in general in life, I like to judge people on their intent and like what the purpose of it is. Like some people can say "you got this" very genuinely, and they really mean it. Like they really want to be encouraging. But other people do it as, you know, like a empty space filler. You know, like, you know, "you got this. You got this." It's like, well, you don't even care about me at all. And this is a meaningless modifier that you just flew out into the air. And so to fill the silence, because you're uncomfortable with silence, and you also want to seem like you care about me. So I totally agree with you on that. Like, so what is it like? Is that what you think basically?
Yeah, kind of. Or you could tell somebody, like, oh, I just got fired from work. This happened, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, oh, you got this. Don't worry, you got this. And it's kind of like, oh, you just made it all better now. Thanks.
Yes. Yes.
Because I got this. So it's all good now because I got this. And
Yeah.
it just annoys me.
I agree. I feel like
Oh, you should see what happened to me last week.
Thoughts and prayers. Don't worry.
Totally invalidate what you just
Yeah,
said.
thoughts and
that's
prayers.
it right there. It's an invalidation. Anyways, cool. So round 2. Moving on to round 2. Round 2 is a storytelling round. And this round is called WTF Storytime. And we're going to start things off with Dante. And in this round, comedians are going to tell a story about the worst grievance that has ever happened to them. And whoever has the best grievance gets 2 points, and whoever has the funniest grievance also gets 2 points. Comedians have 5 minutes or less to tell their story. Dante, whenever you're ready.
So my first grievance is on multiple levels, but it's going to start and be founded by the fact my dad decided wanted to have sex and have a kid with a hood rat white woman. And I say that because my name is Dante. I love the way Alango hit mute. You're supposed to laugh out loud, but it's spelled Duante, right? And that is my biggest grievance, is that for 42 years, my name has been, I like the way you laugh, has been spelled wrong. And not only that, I've had to argue with white people, Indian people, and Mexicans, everybody, on how my name is spelled. And the worst part is I have an example for every race out there about how you should know my name is spelled right or how to say it. And it's real simple. You fuckers don't say Juan. You say Juan. And if you put a D in front of UAN and use that same idea, it's Don. And then Tay, you son of a bitches. And then not only that, but the grievance of I've had to eat shitty black food because my mom wanted to cook black food my whole life and tell her it tastes like soul food. I mean, imagine if you had somebody tell you your whole life this is soul food and you have to lie about it and be like, yeah, this is great. But then you go to your real black friend's house and you taste what mac and cheese tastes like, and it's not the same thing. Like, what's this crap shit, Mom? This ain't mac and cheese. You're supposed to bake it in the oven. You know what I'm saying? And do you know what salt and pepper is, motherfucker? Sorry. Not only that, but if I would have been at least like had a white or all white or all black, nobody'd think I was fucking Samoan all the time. That's fucking frustrating. I think nobody knows what the fucking Dean's over there dying. Nobody knows what the fuck I am because my dad wanted to have a hybrid puppy instead of going and getting a thoroughbred horse. And I'm just saying, I'm not against interracial breeding. I'm just saying this is my grievance because I'm either the whitest black guy in the room or the blackest white guy in the room, and the shit's getting old. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, I was everybody's black friend. But now that everybody's trying to be cool, my black friends tell everybody I'm their white friend. And I'm getting tired of misraced. I got him again. I got him twice. He yelled on that one because he wasn't on mute. You know what I'm talking about. Like, and then on top of it, it's like, I'm not Indian. There's only one Indian. I'm tired of people saying East Indian. That's a colonial term. You know that, right? Because there's no West India, you stupid motherfuckers. Anyway, that's my grievance. I'm tired of being mixed. That's my biggest grievance. Nobody knows what in the fuck I am. My hair doesn't know what to do. I'm going gray. I'm going bald. It's all fucked up.
Time. Nice. I'm sorry. Dude, you're going to hate this, but you kind of look like Russell Wilson. Does anybody watch football?
No, I look like Black Seth Rogen. I know what I look like.
Sound like him, yeah, actually.
And the whole
the laugh for sure.
I'm on a ton of cut videos with millions of views, and everybody's like, he looks like And sounds like, yeah. You know who's older? Me. He's a fucking white suit man. Fuck Seth Rogen. He's culturally appropriating my image.
I have to say, I mean, if you're older than him, like you have no wrinkles. You've aged rather well, probably because of your mixed race.
So, they say black don't crack. We just smoke it. No. Oh, damn.
I mean, you know what? Black, you can say what you want. That was.
I didn't say it. He said it.
I didn't tell him what to say. I respect free speech, man. I can understand that though. I feel like especially the era that you came up in, like mixed people didn't have it good. You're that zillennial in between. Race was a lot messier back then for a mixed person. I mean, they say by 2030, I think is what it is, that the majority of people are going to be mixed. So it'll be very different growing up in 2030. There will be a lot of people who do look like you, but I understand your grievance because it wasn't like that back then, was it?
I mean, there was enough of us, but it was just I don't know. I don't think none of you guys have people come up going, hey, what are you? And I mean, I get this from black folks, Mexicans, white folks. It's not like I just get it from racist white people. No, I get it from even Asians. What are you? Right? Mexicans.
Can I say something? Like, why does anyone care?
What are you?
I can't imagine going up to someone and being like, what are you? Like, why would I care?
I'm also 6'2" and like almost 300 pounds. So sometimes I look at them like, do you think this is your best fucking decision right now? Like, what if why are you talking to me? Like, I don't even like people. So yeah, it's different. I talk to a lot of people. I'm also partial deaf, right? So I can't hear everything, and I do hear, but I'm audible. So I deal with a lot of like intersectional parts of my life. I'm a jock, nerd, and I'll tell you, bullying helped a lot with that, because when you were bullied, you either like stood up for who you were, or you found a whole bunch of other people like you to band together. You know what I mean? Like I remember hanging out with like the Nepalese kid or the kids from these Lebanon and shit, where people didn't quite know what they were either. You know what I mean? So you end up with the band of mischiefs, right?
Again, like I can't imagine really caring about that. Like, why do some people walk around this earth like they're Jane Goodall or like some kind of anthropologist, where they feel like, oh, I've encountered something new, I need to classify exactly what it is? Or you could just leave it the fuck alone and move on with your life and your own business. Why do you care? I don't get it.
Can I touch your hair? No. I'm not a fucking exhibit. No, you cannot touch my fucking hair. I've had people pet me.
A human being? I can't imagine that. All right, cool. Next up, we will do Elongo. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, I'll start with this one. So it was back in high school when I used to play tennis. I know it's stereotyping. You need to play tennis because we're too weak to throw a ball or football or any of that other shit. No, but that's not really the case. So I used to play tennis, and I wasn't very good. So we were the scrubs on the tennis team. And so the scrubs never played on the actual high school courts. We would play at the courts in the park, which was right behind our school. And that's where all the stoners would go too. So basically we just smoked cigarettes and hit a ball around because we wouldn't even play the other schools. But I would play with my very good friend. His name's VJ. And he was very good at tennis. Like, he won awards. He even walked onto a college team. And he's a year older than me, but he's one of my closest friends. We also used to take private lessons at an actual tennis club. And we played there too. And he, of course, he had way more aptitude in tennis, and he was in a higher ranked class. Well, one day, our tennis club decided to host a tournament. So you pay $25 and you go play in this tennis tournament. So this is completely separate from playing on the high school team. Guess who they put me in the first round with? They put me with my friend, who I already play constantly. And he beats my ass. But he's so kind and humble about this. He's like, hey, man, that was a great shot. Oh, awesome attempt there. I'm just like, yeah, thanks, man. I completely lose. But then it gets worse because now my mom has to drive me home. And then when we get home, my immigrant parents, they're asking me, like, my dad's asking me, well, why are you back already? And I said, oh, because I lost. He's like, well, how many matches did you play? I won. It's like, okay, yeah, can't believe VJ beat me. One day I'll get back at him. Then my dad goes, wait. We just paid $25 for you to go into a tennis tournament just so you could lose to your friend who you already play with constantly? No, I want you to call up the place and ask if you can do another round. Like, what are you talking about? This is single elimination. I don't know. I don't think there's double elimination. He said, get on the phone and call them up or ask for a refund. Well, is mom going to drive me over there? Yes, she's going to drive you over there. And I called. I asked if there's a double elimination. They said, no, not for this tournament. And they would not give a refund. And I had to ask for that. And that was such a horrifically pathetic grievance because it wasn't just about losing to my friend. It was about the money that was spent by mommy and daddy and the audacity of me to be placed into a tournament with my friend who I play tennis with nonstop. I didn't pick the roster. I would have picked someone who was like 5 years younger than me, who never held a racket before. But I had to deal with it. And then I had to make that call and then actually physically go back over there.
You know what I love? I love when parents, when there's something wrong with your parents, like they have like a quirk or like a worldview that is off, just not mainstream. It's weird and uncomfortable. And then they force you to be part of it. Like your dad is super cheap and thinking that like, yeah, I'm going to make him go ask for a refund for a measly $25.
Or play more.
Like, do you guys know what I mean? Like, do your parents have like little quirks that that they force you to be a part of and you have to go along with because you are their children?
Yeah. Being vegetarian, going to bed early and getting up at the same time every day, regardless of whether it's the weekend or weekday. There's none of that sleeping in like a rock star with the door closed. It's come in, open up all the shades, get the fuck out there onto the farm. Oh, wait, we don't have a farm. We live in a suburb.
What time do they make you get up and go to bed?
I mean, had to be downstairs at roll call, 7:30, 7:45.
Damn.
And no days off from school. Because, Latinos, hardest workers out there, no days off. Indians, hardest workers out there, no days off in school. So if I was like sick or something, they'd be like, all right, tell you what, why don't you just do a half day? Call us at 3:30 instead of 3:45 when you're normally out, and then we'll pick you up. But don't make this a habit, okay? And then I ended up puking in front of my first grade class, like all 50 classmates. Then the janitor came, and you know what they do with puke back then? They always bring out the old sawdust, throw that on there, try to deaden the smell.
Yes. Oh, that's awful. Mom and dad, it's like, hey, I'm not half sick. Why am I having a half day?
Yeah. And I was a new student, an immigrant-ass student. So...
Dude.
You know what I remember, though, is holding the door for everyone as the kids were running out going, ew, gross, as I waited for the janitor.
Bro, I might have to top you on this. One time my parents took me to school in 4th grade. I told my parents I was sick, and they're like, yeah, we don't believe you. Kids, to be fair, I was always pretending to be sick. I was kind
Did you put a thermometer in the lamp?
I had 2 older sisters, and I would always wear their clothes. They're like 5 and 6 years older than me. I was like 4th grade, and I would always steal their clothes. I would wear them underneath my clothes so I could take them off and have like cool outfits at school. I would hide the clothes in my backpack. My mom had to frisk me basically before I got on the school bus because I would wear my sister's clothes and then I would come home and they would be filthy. And so it's like I was a child wearing high schoolers' clothes. So, I mean, and also I would pretend to be sick. I was bad. I would take their makeup and sell it to other kids at school. I would do that. I'm entrepreneur minded. But I would also, one time I said I was sick, and this was also in the 4th grade. I said I was sick, and I was at school, and I got my sister's makeup, her foundation, and I put it all over my face, so I looked really pale. And I got some crackers, and I went to the nurse's office, and she's like, "Oh, if you're sick, go into the bathroom." So I got the crackers, I chewed them up, and I spit them in the toilet, so it looked like vomit. And which that doesn't look like vomit. I think the nurse was kind of stupid. But so the story of why I actually did get sick was one time on the bus, 4th grade. I vomited on the bus, and we lived in a very hilly area, and the vomit it traveled up and down the bus the entire way to school. We would go up a hill, and then the vomit would go all the
That's
way.
a rogue wave. That's a tsunami. That's like a high tide coming in, and you got to run out of the way.
Correct. And the
I
screams.
got weak gag reflex. I can't listen to this anymore.
The screams as it traveled down the bus. The children, because I mean, children love screaming in general, but this was legitimately disgusting. So for like 30 minutes, it was constant screaming. And
Were they all just like sitting on top of their bus seat like this?
They were. Everyone was. The entire bus. The entire bus.
Can't hear about this anymore. You're not getting me today.
Oh, and I was sitting in my seat, just like so embarrassed that I did that.
All I can think about is that warm, hot smell of puke.
Yeah, that was there. Thanks for adding that detail for someone that hates the sound of it.
What month was this when you puked? Was it the summer or spring, or was it winter?
Fall. It was the fall, so it wasn't.
Oh, so it was still hot.
I mean, it wasn't hot, but like.
That just reminds me of Family Guy, where everybody was like, "Ma!"
The epic episode.
I'm ready to puke. Just thinking, like, so when I got 5 kids, and I remember one of my kids puked on me, and so I puked on my kid. And my wife was like, "Did you just puke on the babies?" I couldn't help it. The baby puked on me. The smell hit me, and I was like, "Oh God." And you just saw me holding the baby, and the baby's crying, and I'm crying, and we both got puke all it. Never mind, I'm sorry.
So you have a very, very active gag reflex, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it in prison. I better be tough.
When you threw up on the bus, what had you eaten? Because that can make a big difference too.
I don't even think I think my mom might have made me eat something. Because again, I mean, caveat, I did pretend to be sick a lot because it was fun, I guess. So, I mean, I'm not super mad that she forced me on the bus, but that was probably one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me. But at the same time, I have this problem where I can't fully get embarrassed when something awful happens to me. I can't, because like the comedian in me, like I'm looking at it as an observer and I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's so fucking funny. And like, so me is the person who it happened to, and it's horrible and embarrassing. But then like third party me is looking at me and I'm like, look at that fucking idiot. That's so embarrassing. So like, I never fully like actually feel embarrassment, which is actually perhaps a good thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
The one with no shame, nothing can stop them. It's like the person who can share porn onto Twitter. Nothing's going to stop them. You need them. You need a person like that. They can do what you're not willing to do.
I love how you made the psychotic people seem out to be like heroes. I like how you put that. I do. Thank you.
Oh, everyone's a hero in someone's story.
I agree with that. Everyone's a villain also in someone's story. I just wanted to make it silent for a few seconds. I tell you, I'm like, sometimes I think it's hilarious to do like the worst, funniest thing. And like dead silence is very funny. Watch, I'll do it again. Oh,
You blink first.
oh, well, that was a fun story. I also played tennis. We have one more story left,
Uh-oh.
and that is our Wisconsin friend, Dean, who is
Dancing.
in a sweat lodge, just sweating out.
In my 3 seasons
That's
room.
cool.
Yes, his 3 seasons room that he just moved into in your new house. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Full brag.
Do you have kids?
Yep. Little flex. I do. I have a 20-year-old and I have a 17-year-old. And then because I'm stupid, I also have an 18-month-old and a 2-month-old.
Fuck. Yeah, you are fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he doubled down on stupidity. He's got 2 adults
Yeah.
and an
Yep.
and
I was done.
Yeah, you're
I was
fucking
done.
Yeah.
They're ready to move out. And I started all over.
What
I
the
didn't
fuck?
pass go. I didn't collect $200. I just started all over.
Your grandson's
Dude,
gonna
you have an empty wallet before you have an empty nest.
hello.
I got 2 in college and 2 in diapers,
I was gonna
basically.
say you're gonna have
Oh.
a grandson or granddaughter go to school with their uncle or aunt.
Yeah,
That's
right.
my uncle a year or 2 older than me.
I'll be the odd
Yeah.
man out. I love that you have 2 young kids. You clearly love children, and I think
I do.
they're probably lucky to have you as a dad. And I love that they're going to grow up in that house that looks like it's beautiful. So that's very exciting.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Dean, whenever you are ready to go, you can take it
Yeah.
away.
Okay. So mine started way back, probably when I was like 10 years old, playing Little League. I was always the biggest and fattest kid, so somehow I was able to hit the ball a lot harder and that sort of thing. Playing Little League and baseball and whatever. So it became a passion of mine to want to play Major League Baseball. That was always my thing. Wherever you saw me, whatever I was talking about, it was always baseball. It was always about my favorite players. You know, I was a big Jose Canseco fan. Don't judge. But I was really, really into baseball, like all the time. Played throughout, school, got into high school, and I started playing. And then my junior year, I played first base primarily, and it just so happened that the city manager of the town I grew up in, he's basically like the mayor. His son also played first base, and he was not happy with how much playtime his son was not getting and that sort of thing. And after practice, and I remember it was in May of 1994, one day, coach brought me over and he just said, "Hey, I'd like to thank you for coming out on the team and whatever, that sort of thing. But we don't need you. We got our first baseman. We don't need you." And wanting to be a Major League Baseball player and wanting to be on ESPN and Sports Center and all that sort of thing, it just killed me. But what made it worse was it was my birthday. And and my dad, he always had this notorious Dodge van that followed us to every game, every practice or whatever. And he pulled up at the end of practice, and he had these giant coolers full of Gatorade for everybody. And he was just like, "Hey, everybody, come have a Gatorade. It's Dean's birthday, blah, blah, blah." And, he was like so pumped up and so happy. And he even got the big Gatorades and had all the cool flavors and everything. And then I was, "Why don't you go give one to Coach? Go see if Coach wants a Gatorade. Tell him why you brought it." My dad walked over by him and was like, "Hey, I got some Gatorades here for Dean's birthday." And the coach just ghost, his face just turned pale. He was a ginger, so I'd say his soul jumped out of his body, but he didn't have one because he's a ginger. But it sucked. It was my birthday, but it did drive me that summer to just practice harder. And I came back my senior year and I was scouted by the Twins and had an opportunity to go play pro ball in Japan. I didn't because I was scared. I was only 17, but yeah, it was just, I just sucked. It was my birthday and it was my passion. And I had this dream of, being a pro baseball player, and just because of some small town politics, it was, sorry, we don't need you on the team. And, worse was the look on my dad's face when he was carrying all that Gatorade though. You know, he was just like so happy, like, oh, here, I brought everybody Gator, like a surprise kind of thing. And that's my grievance, I guess. I don't know how much time I got left, but that's all I got for that one.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's I'm over it now. I mean,
I'm not
What
either.
position, by the way?
what position?
First base,
Yeah.
right?
I primarily played first base then. When I came back and played my senior year, I was mostly designated hitter. He knew not to cut me because he already had a first baseman, but I played first base too.
Isn't it so? I find it so interesting with baseball that like they're all bases, right? They all look exactly the same. They're squares, whatever. But like you can tell the type of physicality that someone is based off of which square they are like located at. Isn't that insane? Like you can tell first base is usually a bigger, stockier person because they get all the action, people running into it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being big and stocky. I think you're strong. I do not conform to the world stereotype of aging or size at all. I love strength and I love I think people's spirits is what matters about them, not any of whatever this is. But anyways, yeah. So, but like shortstop, you know exactly what their physicality is. Outfielder, you know exactly who they are. But like they're all in the same field and they're just like squares. I've always thought that was so cool.
No, funny thing about Little League. Like I remember, like when I was slow, they would put me in right field because they would always say, "Hey, put the slowest, fattest, least athletic person in right field," right? Because everyone always pulls the ball. If you're a right-handed batter, it always goes towards left field and stuff. But if the team had one left-handed batter and they hit it past right field, then they could easily get a triple. So then you're screwed.
Sure.
You shouldn't put that person there. But they're like, no one's gonna hit the ball to them. Yeah, in the park home run, right?
Oh. But like, and that's
in Little League.
Oh, go ahead.
Little League, I played right field too, but I always wanted to play right field because my favorite player was Jose Canseco, and that's where he played. But then he had made a home run where the ball bounced off his head and went over the fence deal. Not to mention his book and the steroids and the reality TV shows and all the other things. Like all my heroes growing up have pretty much let me down.
Oh.
Barry Bonds.
Other than my dad. My dad never let me down, but he did.
And Willie Mays, the basket catch.
Yeah.
But I love Dave Winfield because he killed an actual seagull with a ball and then charged for it.
Absolutely. Like, I can't even believe it's a real clip.
Andy Johnson, when he hit that fucking bird with the ball.
Yeah.
That exploded.
Nothing but feathers. Just absolutely vaporized it.
So my problem with Little League was I've been the same height since I was 12 years old. I got my baseball card there. I was 5'11 and a half, 145 pounds at 11 years old.
What? Ah, you monster. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks. She doesn't care about size. And then I tell her, my sister, you're a monster.
Like, you're a monster. I love strength. You monster.
Obviously, I mean it lovingly. My brother was the exact same way.
You can play baseball and not get to play. And when they just didn't pitch to me. I come up to bat and they just put them on base. I hate the way Dean started laughing.
They feared you.
That's my guy.
That's like when Aaron, what's his name? The Yankees player, Aaron Judge, when he was trying to break the record, people would just not throw him the ball. Like that's
why I love Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was hitting balls. He got called out for stepping on the plate for one of them, right? He was, fuck this, you're not stopping me. If it's anywhere close, I'm swinging. Barry Bonds is the man. Fuck it. Steroids.
Dean, can we talk about you playing in Japan? Like, what made you? So it was scary as a 17-year-old to like go overseas.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was the main thing. One of the coaches that used to coach the varsity team where I grew up, he actually played for the Twins for a while, and they would have kind of like if they felt the reason to have somebody come, they would have like a recruiter night, and they would have recruiters come. And he brought the Twins recruiter, and they're kind of like, he's a little bit young, he's got potential, whatever. Let's see. They apparently have like a overseas Japan sister team, and they basically reached out to them. They reached out to me, and they just said, "Hey, do you want to come over here and play pro ball with us?" And I was like, "Well, do I have to speak Japanese?" And they're like, "To hit a ball, no." And I was like, "Okay." And so I was actually pumped about it. And then when I started talking to my parents about it, and basically came to the conclusion that they'd come with me at first, but they still had to come back home, have jobs, do all that sort of thing. And I'd be in Japan all by myself, the age of 17 and whatever. I decided not to go. And I just kind of thought like, oh, if I got, recruited to go play Japan in high school, the world's my oyster. I'll be able to play anywhere kind of thing was kind of my thought. So I thought I was just going to go play in college. And then I went to college and focused on my studies and didn't really play baseball anymore and that sort of thing. So, it's kind of how that shook out. But looking back on it, I was probably one of those dudes who didn't want being a pro athlete, during my 20s, because I would have had all the cocaine, all the steroids, all the whores. I'd have just been like, your absolute tabloid player. I'm pretty sure that you hear all kinds of stuff about, like, be dating Madonna one day and then Miley Cyrus. I don't know. It would have been.
That's a gap.
Yeah, I'd have been that guy.
I love how you are the inverse of Shotani. Where Japanese guy comes here, doesn't speak the language, rocks it out. Oh. Dude, we all know about his contract, right? The highest player in all of sports.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's crazy. I know.
Patrick Mahomes is looking at that and being like, oh, fuck, I could have been that guy. Have you ever seen him throw a baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Are we football fans here or no?
Yeah, but you only play 16 games.
What?
Baseball sucks.
Baseball?
Being a baseball pro, you play 162 fucking games.
Yeah.
Like if you go from, they only get realistically, they only get like fucking 3 months off, maybe 4. Not even that, because
it's not even off.
Yeah, they only take October to December away from the team. Once January hits, you got to start workouts. Once February hits, you're into spring training. Once March hits, you're into preseason games. Like football, man.
Football is very, very damaging on the body. Like, I don't think any football player is going to be like, oh, yeah, we got it easy because we only play 16 games. Like, no. I think also with football is that, like, in terms of societal impact, like, football players are just more relevant than baseball players today. They just are. Like, Patrick Mahomes is the most famous athlete in the world right now, and he is a quarterback. And Shotani, I don't know if it's just because he's a low-key guy, but it took him until his most recent contract for him to be actually making the rounds in media. So, I mean, it's just very different, it's been interesting to see the shift in culture from baseball being America's pastime to kind of football being America's pastime. What do you guys think about that? You guys all seem like baseball fans.
Man, it was basketball. It went football, basketball, then baseball.
I agree with you. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird.
Jordan took over sports in the 90s. Nobody gave a fuck about baseball. Nobody gave a fuck about football. Yeah. The 49ers and the Cowboys won 6 championships in the 90s.
But honestly, if Larry Bird and Magic Johnson hadn't done the work that they did in the 80s, Michael Jordan would not have been able to be as relevant as he was, because people didn't give a shit about basketball before that sort of rivalry between the coasts. And because it became so much more than about basketball, it became about pride of your town, your area, and racially also.
I was going to say, wait for it. The small town white guy, Larry Bird, versus the the overzealous, the black guys from LA and Showtime Lakers.
Exactly.
Boston, most racist city in America, Boston.
Dude. Did you guys watch Winning Time on HBO?
No, I don't think I watched that.
Oh, it's fantastic. It catalogs the rivalry between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the late 70s and 80s. It's so freaking well done. Like I can't recommend it enough. It's probably the best sort of like sports. It's Adam McKay, if you know who he is. He's the guy behind Will Ferrell's success in the 2000s. Basically, he did all of the. He did Ricky Bobby. He did like 40-Year-Old Virgin. He did all that stuff. Well, not 40-Year-Old Virgin. That was
Step Brothers, maybe.
I don't know if
No,
he
probably
did
didn't.
Brothers. He did.
Will wasn't in that.
He did Anchorman. He did Anchorman. He did Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Like so, like he's a comedic genius, but he's now branched off into more dramatic stuff. He did Succession. He's a main producer on that. If you guys ever watched that show, it's so freaking good. But yeah, totally recommend that. Anybody listening to Winning Time on HBO, highly recommend. It is hilarious, but really heartfelt too, and like it's so authentic too because it's based off of a book done by somebody who did a lot of research. Cool, awesome, fantastic. That was great. I love our tangents. So the current score is Dean has 2, Ilongo has 2. So in terms of funniest, I'll give that to Dante. I thought you did a good job of you really seemed aggrieved, and I enjoyed that your body.
I love how she's like, that is bullshit. You're mixed. It sucks. I'm sorry.
It was funny. I liked it. And in terms of biggest grievance, I'll give that to Dean. I think that, yeah, that sucks, dude. That's like your whole lifetime dream passion, and like just for like the coach's son, like or whatever. Was it the coach's son or who was it? Somebody.
City manager. So like the mayor of the town, they have city manager.
That's
so it was like his son. Yeah.
Ah, God.
I got cut so he could have a spot on the team, basically.
Yeah, I'm aggrieved for you for that. So
yeah, I was kind of feeling bad when I was talking about it because you kind of looked like you were gonna cry, and I was like, "Hey, this is supposed to be funny. I'm not supposed to make people cry." Well, that wasn't.
No, I just hate. I'm always rooting for the little guy. I'm always rooting for the underdog. You hate like,
yeah.
You just hate people who feel like they deserve everything because they already have everything, and then they feel like they deserve more of everything because I already have it, so I'm better than you. It's like that's not even a logical flow right there. So I hate entitlement. I hate it. So I definitely thought that was the best grievance. So that makes Dean the winner of Dissgruntled. Congratulations, Dean. There we go. You are definitely well placed in your grievances. And you two motherfuckers down there, you're just I'm so sorry. But thank you for being disgruntled on this podcast for our viewers and listeners, and for me. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for showing up. For all of our listeners, their names are Dean Berg, Dante Barnett, and Ilongo Gopalan. And you can find them on various social media outlets. Give them a look up. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have new episodes every Wednesday. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. Thank you again to everyone. Until next time, have a great week.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Innocent.